Hey everybody, and welcome on back to our Minecraft single player survival world. Today we are going to be finishing up the rest of the houses inside of our village, which I have all of them planned out right here. This one per many suggestions on the last video of working on this big old castle right here. We finished up the entire interior of that one. Be sure to check it out if you missed it. But anyways, this structure right here is going to be a bathhouse. And because we need somewhere, a lot of people were saying we should have put one in the basement, but I think it'd be cool to have it out here. So that's kind of a bigger structure in this area. Then we're just gonna have two little houses over in this side, and then we got another third house right over here. And I plan to detail all of the trees. Yes, of course, more trees. And the terrain and everything else around this area. However, first and foremost, I got a name tag in my hand. We got a zombie villager that we trapped downstairs that I gave the temporary name of, I believe it was Frankie or something along those lines down here, which we can get into this guy. If you missed it, this is kind of what we worked on last episode, was all of the interiors. That was the first interior episode that I've ever done where people really enjoyed it. So I'm glad everybody enjoyed that one, because I was a little like, ooh, this could be really bad. But anyways, we did everything in this area. Then coming back here, we got this nice little zombie villager right back here. So glad he didn't despawn. But anyways, the name we're going with here is Eagle the Drunk. This one is coming in from, I believe it was Casper that left that as a suggestion. Yeah, I named him Frankie just to give him a name to keep him down here. Now he's Eagle. So thank you so very much for that suggestion. That is absolutely awesome. Very quickly here, before we get onto the building, I want to show you all the location of our next project. Right here, you can see way off in the distance behind us. Just kidding, it's not a render distance anymore. That was the city, so behind that was all the custom terrain that we're doing. This right here is another one of our castles that we built. And out here, we should be finding some islands. We have the Guardian Farm right over here, which we're kind of doing this off the distance of it. But these islands right here, I want to use as our base plan idea for what we're going to be doing for our next tropical island adventure, which I think is gonna be so fun. I'm planning on doing a bunch of terraforming. There's a few drowned villages down in these areas as well. I think we have one like right down there. There's one right over there. Thought that'd be kind of cool to be able to transform those. And I want to build some actually complete custom islands out here too. A little bit inspired by what Good Times with Scar was doing over on Hermitcraft. Not the same style of building, just the fact of building your own island. I think could be super fun. But I think that's going to be our best spot for it, keeping it relatively close to everything else we're doing. There is another awesome island that we have up here, this Savannah Island, that I just absolutely love, but I want to save it for something else. This one right here, I'm not too sure on what I want to do with it yet, but I'm kind of saving it for something very special down the road. When we find it, we'll know. And it's just this very cool little Savannah Plateau Island that I just think is awesome. So I'm saving that one for something special later on that we'll be back here to eventually, the good old eventually terms. I've been receiving a lot of requests recently to do a little bit more building on camera. I was originally planning on just doing a big old massive time lapse of finishing all of these structures out here. Then we could get on doing the trees and everything. But let's take some time to build a little bit of this thing here together. First and foremost, this is going to be our bathhouse. So I want to bring you all in here for a little bit more of the design choice that I was going with. Let's craft up some of these guys, just get a few of them. And that should be good for us. And then coming in here, what I was thinking originally when doing this one is that we're going to have the floor down here. And if we divide up and give ourselves 3 blocks on that side and 3 blocks on this side, that leaves us to have an open area inside of here. So I was thinking we could bring ourselves like something like this maybe, where we can have 2 different bathrooms on both sides of it, using in these little guys as like a wall texture of sorts. So that would kind of bring them out this way, and that should help us get a good decent sized area. Then I'm thinking inside of this actual area right here, where it's kind of dropping down right like that, is going to be our actual bath. So I need some more cobblestone to bring that stuff down. Let me grab that real fast. Okay, got it. So original plan that I'm thinking here is that we're going to bring these sides down a little bit, like I was saying. And a good way to do that if you're building something like this and you just need to get some blocks down is let's just bring this down like 4 blocks on this side. That should be able to get a lot of this stuff done here. And that's way deeper than it's going to need to be. We don't want a bath to be, you know, just a giant thing. So we can pick up that water. And then on this side right here, we probably want to bring in some stone. The reason why I'm doing this is I want to create like a area where we could stand and you could dry off after you've been in the bath or whatever it might be. You have a bit more space to yourselves. We don't really have to worry about anything. So I'm thinking inside of here, we can probably bring ourselves down like this. And then that would kind of step you down into the bath. Originally, I'd wanted to do 2. So it'd be kind of like this, but I think that might be pretty deep. Unless we do that, and then, let's try this. Just while we're here, if we bring the stone all the way around here, that's going to bring it to being, I got to get through here real fast. And so that would be our area where the bath actually is itself. And I was thinking we could have some stuff right down in here and maybe like raise these sections up. So this can be kind of lowered down, and we have that. And then maybe we do like a little slab down there. So this whole area would be filled with water. So if you really want to dunk yourself deep underwater, you can come all the way down here. If you want to sit a little bit lower, maybe you could do that right there. We can fill all that up with water, and that would kind of be cloned on this side as well. Then that gives us a cool little bath area that we have in here. And then we just kind of keep making these walls along the sides. And then the central area can be kind of just a lounging area. So we can do like a chair, like 2 benches or something right in there. And maybe we can do like a flower pot on each of those things and do something here fancier in the middle. Maybe like some stone little bust of sorts. Could be kind of good just to have some details besides like having something else in here besides what we kind of have going on currently. I need to grab some dark oak on me though, so we can make this actual roof trim, but we're in a little bit of a predicament here because of how tall this structure is that we need to bring it up to being basically this tall going around this entire place, which leaves a lot of room on the interior for height that we can go up, which I think is gonna be really cool. So if we bring this kind of up to here, like, so we give 4 blocks tall, and then with oak we bring a little ceiling over where these bath areas are. We're gonna have to bring in some way of like heating the water. You know what, thinking about it, what if we had this area right here as the place where they heat up the water, where they do all that stuff, they do all kind of like the fancy stuff behind it. So this is just kind of the workman's area and the entry area, and then we have a little bit of a staircase reaching right up here that gets us to a second lounging floor where it would be really warmed up because we have these hot baths down here like this one that would be bringing up a bunch of steam into that. Then that would make the top area really cozy for people to kind of hang out in afterwards, and just kind of like, you know, the whole family affair. People gonna be hanging out all over the place while they're doing the bath thing. I've run into a wee bit of a snafu, you could call it, while working on the bathhouse, is that I have run out of hay bales. I want to use those on top of the roof there to help bring the hay bales more into the city theme, or the village itself. And I completely ran out while working on it. So we're coming down here to see if we are... 33 is okay. We're gonna definitely need a lot more than 33 though. So I might be gathering up a bit of a field depending on how many we can get out of this. I added in the full roof for this structure and ended up with just 4 hay bales left after crafting up almost 2 stacks of them. Thankfully though, we didn't have to go and actually farm up any more of these things because they are very painful to gather. And I don't think we're doing any more structures with them because I only have 4 left in total, and I do not want to go destroy an entire wheat field. On top of this, I've started throwing in a few of our window bits around here just on some of the main points, and then this is kind of what the interior is looking like right now. Got some jungle doors in here blocking off these areas. We'll detail those ones out later. We got some staircases up on both sides that lead you up to the lounge area, which is just right up here with some big old windows to look out. And I figure with all of the heat coming up into the floorboards and everything from our sauna areas down below, our bath areas, it should be pretty fine to keep that stuff just fine and dandy up there. We'll figure out this entrance here eventually. But one thing I wanted to focus on next was this wall right here. It's rather boring. It's very big. Compared to every single other one that we've done, they're at least skinnier, or there's something breaking them up. Because like, look at this big massive structure we have right here. It's way skinnier than what we're doing with this one because we need a large interior space here. So what I wanted to start ourselves out with doing was just detailing this wall out here together. And I think a good way, and I forgot slabs. Okay, I think a good way to get ourselves started is one detail that I've been doing around a lot of this place has been just bringing these in along the bottom. If you don't have my resource pack on or anything like that, you can also just bring in some oak logs like that, where in place of where we did those slabs, and it would look just fine. I just want to have something to break it up and have a forced transition from where we have our cobblestone into where we have the rest of the wood things going on. And I think it'll work out really well for us. Next up, we can start bringing in a few of these stripped spruce logs, and I think something like that. And actually what I was thinking, now that I was just showing you all that oak wood thing, what if we brought the oak wood right up here to where the second floor is starting and did a strip of this going all the way around, kind of showing that it's like a banding of sorts for where we have this next layer starting. I think it might actually give a good bit of detail to it and can help break things up and feel like there's more of a difference between them. Yeah, you know what? I like that. I think that'll work out pretty well. And then we can just continue bringing in a few more of these logs just around here to help break this up so it's not quite as flat. And you know what we could do? Oh, we got a bunch of spruce logs on us, so we'll be fine. But what we could do is just come all the way up to the top of this one, and above where we have this oak wood is we can have a really, you can totally see that this wall is different by we just bring these things in along this entire area instead of just kind of filling in everything else. I'm going to use these on the edge here so we get the smooth block in there, because I just don't have too many of them. I don't want to waste them where it doesn't really matter to have those. Something like that. I think that is much, much better. And then after we sleep here real fast, I got one more thing I want to add into that side to at least break it up. This one that we're looking at right here, I'm thinking this general area of this guy can just be turned into a bunch of those vertical planks with our double slab, and I think that'll be pretty good. But what we can do over here is bring out some of our dark oak ones, and I want to add an area because this is a bathhouse after all. So we're going to obviously need to have some way to bring in a bunch of like heat into the area. So we need a lot of like lumber storage of sorts, I guess you could call it. We need to have somewhere that we're going to be storing all of like the firewood that's going to be used to heat everything, because that's probably a big expense. So I was thinking we could bring some of these over here and probably just do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and just stretch these ones all over the way, and that should be pretty good. And we can just throw a bunch of firewood and stuff down here, and maybe this side right there we can turn into like a little bit of a cobblestone wall as like a retaining wall to hold back the land of everything going on here. So we can just do something like cutting this back here, maybe right there. And I don't have any slabs or stairs on me of the cobblestone kind right now, but just something like that could be pretty good. Slowly but surely the shulker mess will be expanding there in today's episode, but I brought over this little bit right here where we just have the cobblestone up, or the cobblestone wall there that we talked about, and some coarse dirt in this area, and I'm just going to surround it out with some of this path block goodness, because I love using that as like our terrain block around here. This color right here I think is so cool. When you do a big area of the path block, you don't just get like that one. Oh, the shading on it looks awesome. Anyways, what we can do in this area is just bring in a bunch of these and kind of, I want this to be a huge firewood storage area. You can see a bunch of campfires in my inventory here as well, because what I want to do is you can bring these in along here. And 1.15, as many people consistently tell me, is we can just take a shovel and just right click on them all with a shovel here, and you'll see that it just makes them look all like just logs. It works out perfectly. And if any of you are new to the channel recently, I removed that weird burn texture from the bottom where it just has that darker color in there. I removed that so it looks a little bit nicer and cleaner. It looks more like logs. That thing right there, I just got rid of it, and I think it looks much better. But anyways, just adding some of those on there, 1, helps mob proof the area, and 2, makes it look like there might be a little bit of kindling or smaller pieces of log hidden in this entire area, and I think it works out pretty great. I'm going to actually remove that one and do one more right in here. Already just changing a few of those blocks, and especially that top section using the spruce stripped logs up there makes this build look a heck of a lot better. So a lot of people recently have been like, wow, Whip, you can use just plain wood and make builds look so much a million times better than what I'm doing. A lot of it is just simply doing these transition points where you have the strip logs up here and we have that more roughened up texture below, or using like the oak as a dividing point. Just little simple things like that. Everybody can really help you out with making more wooden builds look a lot more interesting. But next thing that we're going to be tackling is I wanted to come up here to the top where we're going to be adding in some more of those cupola things, is kind of what I've been calling them. I feel like that's the wrong name for them, but we're going to be adding them in and getting back a few of our hay bales, which I am even more happy about for most of this stuff. Because what these are going to be doing here is these are going to be the ways for the air to get out of this area. Instead of kind of being trapped in there, which we want it to be a little bit, which is why we're only going to be doing 2 small ones on the sides here, but we still want to have a way for air as it gets like super hot inside this place to be able to get out. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing with this one. And in order to do that, we have some spruce fence gates, we have some ladders, and we have other few detail bits. If you have seen these other structures or tried to rebuild them yourselves, you probably are familiar enough with how these things are going to be working. So they're going to go like that, just little small ones on the sides here. And then we can bring this stuff up just one more on each side, and then we're going to come into the sides on both of the ends right here and do another one that makes it a little bit taller. We could actually, you know, let's just do it on all 4 here for completionist sake, where it's going to be like that. And then we're simply just going to bring out some dark oak stairs and create a little bit of a roof border around these, just with some like just stepping up a single block at a time. And then for the top bit, after we have all the stairs up here, I brought in some spruce ones in the middle, just so it's not all dark oak going across the top itself. So it just has a little bit more variety to it. You can just bring a few of these little guys right here, just using some slabs on top right like that, and it'll be perfect. And then I just need to duplicate it over to this side. I think I forgot to mention these while we were building those top bits, but I decided to add in some ladders and our oak trapdoors right up there to bring it more in line with what we got going on with the rest of this thing. But I know we're getting up there very far in today's episode, so I decided to go ahead and just finish this one off, including a tree and the entire interior. Before we get to that, if y'all are still enjoying these videos, please be sure to click that like button down below. Subscribe if you are brand new and you want to be seeing more of what's coming down the road. And back to the build. And what I did here was I just did a custom tree really close in line with this big old structure, and I think it looked really cool. It's very mashed up into there, and I think it helps bring in our sight line a little bit better. So you're kind of around the corner, it hides the castle a little bit better, and then you kind of see that full view as you're walking up this way. Then those structures, of course, are going to be hiding it from there a little bit further. Anyways, coming in here, the door came out a block to that next block right there, so it's a little bit more rounded because I needed to throw the stair in there. And the interior center section right here, we got some white banners symbolizing towels. We got some levers. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they're more hooks for the towels to hang on. We got some areas where they're heating up the water here with some campfires down below. I think I probably should change this out to a stone floor, but I was too lazy. Got a smoker in there, nice flower, some stuff to maybe make the water smell all nice and good and stuff. Got something on the wall here to show that they are legit. See, they got a ribbon. They must be very good. And coming into here, we got the baths are finished up. The smoke is going up throughout them. We got a little flower in here. We got some towels. We got a little cauldron. Maybe they can, if they want to heat up the water even more, maybe this is like boiling hot water that comes pouring out of there. And they can take this little cup, scoop it in there, and plop it down on this thing and just heat up the water a little bit more. I don't know. It doesn't really make sense now that I think about it. Coming up to the second floor, things that make a little bit more sense is this area is looking pretty fine. We got this central structure here, which is kind of, I don't know, maybe it's like a shrine of sorts. Maybe it means peace and good fortune and all that stuff to our Nordic people. We got a bunch of benches around here. They can hang out. We got a big old carpet, maybe some toy chests back there for the kids and some books and things for the parents or the kids as well, whoever wants to read them. And that's pretty much it for this whole structure. I really like it. I think it turned out really well. Bringing in our snow on top really helped to tone those hay bales down a bunch because they were very bright. But I like this. I think it turned out really cool. I do, however, I want to finish up the rest of these houses. We got 3 more houses here left to do for today's episode. So I think with that, without any further ado, let's kick this off into good old-fashioned time-lapse mode. You know, I feel like I always start us walking up the mountain or up the hill. And I want to start this clip out here from the top because it looks so cool. I'm very, very happy with everything we were able to accomplish in that time lapse. I do hope y'all enjoyed it. We were able to get all of those houses in. The interiors have not even been touched yet, but because I wanted to spend some time building more trees. We obviously needed more trees in this area to make it feel more like a forest. And now the village itself is completely surrounded in trees on all sides. The trees have, they're attacking. The Ents are headed to Isengard, and we're getting ready. We're getting ready. I tried showing y'all a little bit of a clip of how I was detailing out the underbrush areas and just adding in some of that terrain modification. And it didn't look out too well, so I'll leave that one in the time lapse. I haven't edited it up yet, but I looked at the clip and it was like, maybe it kind of a little bit. But anyways, coming back in here, I've just added a bunch more snow and added in a few patches of this path block stuff to get that lighter color. I want this to feel like frosted grass. You know, like when it snows or when like it's really, really cold outside and you go out and look at your lawn or just some grass in a nearby park or something, and it's kind of that colder, frostier color. That's what I want the path blocks to be symbolizing in here. So just kind of a heads up for what those are meant to be. And then we have all the snow and everything else in here. Oh my gosh, it's looking so good. I love walking through this area. One of my favorite views now in this place is when we're right at the entrance of the feast hall, looking up at the castle. This right here is exactly how I envision this build to be. The few houses in the front and the trees kind of bordering the castle. And as you walk up here, it just grows and grows and grows. And it's so awesome. I really, really like it. I know we have this mountain in the back here that's still just all wireframe scaffolding stuff that needs to be finished up. I've been meaning to do that. I like building the mountains on streams, however, so that's why I've been kind of waiting off on doing this one here, because I've had lots of friends in town over the holiday season and all that stuff, so I haven't had much time to do any streaming things. But so next streams that we'll be doing are definitely going to be focused on building this one up. So if y'all want to be seeing how to build a bunch of stuff, I think the next stream is going to be this coming Friday at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time, which I believe that's GMT -7 for time zone conversion. It could be -8 right now based on time of year. But anyways, everybody, that is going to have to do it for today's episode. I am way out of time for this one. This video is supposed to be going live in about an hour and a half. So I got to get this thing edited up, get it rendered, and all that good stuff. So thank you all so very much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. Please be sure to hit that like button if you did enjoy. Next episode, we're going to be coming back in here, doing the interiors on all those, and I want to get our back gatehouse finished up here and do a little bit of a shrine thing over in that area. So any ideas for that stuff, please be sure to let me know down in the comments below. But anyways, I will catch you on the flip side.